Welcome to a Minecraft playthrough where I see how many days in a row I can play the game. So consider leaving a like on the video and let's see what we get up to today. Today we are going to be talking a bit about corporate America. Yesterday, my friend and I ended up going to a warehouse. The reason being for it was that my friend and I had a friend of a friend who always happens to be in the link when it comes down to business opportunities and how to just kind of make money. I have always been one of those people that has struggled to make money easily, and I do work as a teacher, so I don't make that much money by itself. So I do a lot of things that give me fulfillment in life, I would say, but I struggle usually to really be on the up and up when it comes down to getting kind of like business opportunities or ways to make easy money in ways that are ethical and reasonable. And my other friend of a friend is one of those other people that just happens to always be in the know when it comes down to it. And I don't usually see him, but as we've been talking about over the last couple of days, my friend from out of town is in town, and he is very close with the friend of the friend. And so yesterday, my friend and I ended up finding ourselves at a warehouse on my Saturday, which is really interesting as we approach day 14,064 on the Forevercraft server. And we showed up maybe around like 12:30 p.m. And this was a very clean warehouse. It seemed very modern. And I knew what I was going for, but I didn't think that it was going to be as nice of a warehouse as it was. But my friend and I, we head on inside and we see all of these goods from different retailers, whether it be Amazon or Target, these fresh items with the clean tags on. They've never been used. These could be things like school supplies or things like treadmills or clothing or video games or consoles or iPhones or chargers. All of these different items we find in this warehouse, and they all have price tags on them. They're a couple of dollars where they would be much more money if it wasn't the case. For example, we ended up finding an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is a very recent iPhone that would sell on the market for about $700. And at this place, at this warehouse, if I had wanted to buy this item, then I would have been able to buy it at the price of maybe $200. So I would have saved about $500 on it. And that discount idea applied to every single item that was in this warehouse, like an entire warehouse filled with tons of boxes, just spanning a massive distance. And it was really a sight to be seen, if I'm being honest. I do think also, by the way, as we talk about this, we're going to continue to flatten out this land right here. I'm just not happy with it, and we'll continue our path building. I do think as we continue to prepare the area over in this direction so that we can have a cozy sort of cottage riverside build over there. So tons and tons of terraforming going on as we kind of talk about corporate America, which is really interesting. And if you do enjoy the commentary, please do consider leaving a like on the video. It does make a big difference for a small channel just like mine. So anyway, we are in this warehouse and these discounts apply to pretty much anything. I'm seeing like NBA 2K26 and I could get it for like $5. And I'll share with you what I ended up getting from this warehouse yesterday. And I wasn't really expecting on spending that much money. And many of you guys know that I'm a pretty frugal person when it comes down to it. But this just was the thing that I needed to go all in on when it comes down to it, because I saw the prices of these items and I just had to do it. So I got a brand new pair of like pretty nice headphones, like a solid pair. I also got a portable charger. I got about 10 packs of Expo markers because I'm an elementary school teacher, as some of you guys may know, and Expo markers are really important for me in the classroom. So the deal was too good for me not to get it. I also got a couple of kitchen towels. I got some Tupperware so that I could make more things for lunch. And I know I got some other things too. Oh, I got a scented candle. That is, what scent is it? It's right next to me. It's a desert sands scented candle, and all of these items. Imagine like a scented candle that's like a Yankee candle. If you're from the United States, those things could cost $15, $25, $30. It's of that quality, this item. And I only spent, I think, like $3 for this candle. And for all of the things that I'm talking about right now that I ended up purchasing, I ended up spending like $35. So imagine, and like even the portable charger that I got was high end. So imagine spending $35 for tons of expo markers, kitchen towels, portable chargers, headsets, amongst other things, like multiple items. And it all only ends up coming up to about $30, where it probably would have cost me maybe $70 to $80. And it was just insane. These deals were just, you couldn't not take advantage of them. And again, these were perfectly unused brand new items just at this warehouse. And I'm sure that if you're still watching at this point in the video, you may be curious as to why is this possible for us to be able to get these brand new items off the shelves and be able to spend like a tenth of the price or like 20% of the price, 30% maximum. How are you getting like a 70 to 80 to 90% discount on these things from a nice warehouse? Like that doesn't seem to make sense. Like, is that even legal? And I understand if you have those questions because I knew why I was going to this warehouse on my Saturday, but it seemed too good to be true. And the reality is that this is from a real business, and the reality is that I'll tell you I'll get to the point when it comes to corporate America. The reason that this company is able to have all these oversized stock items is because the large corporations like Walmart or Amazon or Target, they have so much stock of different items that they cannot even fill the shelves with it because they cannot sell it fast enough. And so what they're doing is they're selling these items to other retailers or other wholesale retailers, more importantly, so that they can then flip them off to other people in a similar way that like drop shipping would work. And if you don't know what drop shipping is, it's buying an item at a mass scale and then selling it at a discount. This is just the fact that these large corporations have so much extra stock of even like iPhones. Like, are you kidding? They're just throwing away iPhones pretty much to the point where you can buy something like a Yankee candle like I did for about $3 or so. And the company that is selling the Yankee type candle for about $3 is still making a profit on it. And even selling like a brand new iPhone Pro Max 16 for $200. Not only is the place like Target or Walmart or Amazon, they're making a profit, and the company that's selling it at a discount is also making a profit. And that is insane. And I don't exactly know how you can find an opportunity where you, in a business sense, can just buy oodles and just tons of items off of these retailers at a cheap price and be able to flip them. But there are so many opportunities business-wise if you were able to get into that sort of connection with a retailer in that sort of way. And I never realized how extensive actually the stock of items that retailers have, how much it is. And if you live in the United States, you will probably be able to recognize that whether your job is just like a corporate office job or it's some other sort of job. Hopefully, I think generally speaking, there's a lot of jobs where there's a lot of kind of just like benefits for the employees, and employees just need more benefits in general. Do not get me wrong. And we are going to blast through this entire shovel, I do think. But, things that really apply in like corporate America in particular is like, having like some breakfast or some lunch or maybe even a dinner sponsored by the company. And, that is a luxury that you have as being the employee or having some extra like some snacks around the office or like those sorts of, beneficial things. They're small things, but the reason that companies, I think, provide the donuts or the meals or the breakfast or the snacks or the coffee or what, yeah, coffee probably being a good example, is because the amount of stock of those items, it's like the quantity of goods that is actually made by any like real big organization and corporation, it is absurd. And like, we all think about like whether it be like Amazon or just like any sort of packaging, there really is a lot of waste that goes into it. And there's a lot of just, overconsumption in the United States. But I think that also goes to a lot of overproduction to a certain degree. And it's been really interesting, I would say, just seeing that and seeing these tubs upon tubs. I mean, I'm talking like refrigerator large tubs overstuffed with items in a massive warehouse that goes on and on and on and on. Like so many items that the workers, my buddy that works there, didn't even know how, like, he didn't even know like a third of the items in there. And as soon as they flipped them off to other people like myself for a very cheap discount, well, there's going to be more of these bins coming in from these massive corporations that just have so much extra, so much surplus. Got the fire alarm going off. Wait, give me a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, we are back once again. It seems like someone must have set off the fire alarm in my apartment complex. Now, it is Easter Sunday, so I guess it could make sense as Opagast ends up flying up upon us. And again, if you have any names for our happy guest over here, we are definitely still taking them. No one has left a single comment when it comes down to it. But I do think that we're going to head up here, up the stairs, and we're going to place away some of the dirt that we've been scooping up. And as we continue to talk about the story that ended up happening yesterday, we're going to probably make our way over to Cobb's base and enchant ourselves a brand new diamond shovel. We should have some more diamonds in here. Yes, we do have 21, just like that. So why don't we go and make ourselves a brand new diamond shovel just like that. We can place away the rest of our 20 diamonds back into the chest just like that. And I'm going to go and scoop up our shulker box as well. So it is once again Easter Sunday, so it makes sense that maybe someone was cooking something and burnt something. So I had to take a bit of a break, but we are now back. And so anyway, it was quite an experience yesterday being able to go and not only buy all these things that were brand new for so cheap, but it was mind-boggling for me just thinking about how this actually reflects upon corporate America. The amount of stock, once again, that these corporations are able to just make in one singular day or just within a month, the amount of overproduction that's happening to the point where it is financially viable for these large corporations to resell at a wholesale price these major quantities of items, and then the wholesale or the secondhand wholesale retailers are selling these brand new items for, again, like 70% off, 80% off, 90% off the original price for real good quantity goods. And it just speaks to how much we actually do produce and consume here in the United States of America. And I know that when it comes down to the experience that I ended up having, I really do enjoy having a thrift shopping sort of experience. And many people love thrift shopping because you're looking for clothes or other items, even furniture that has been used by other people. So it is secondhand. It is not brand new. You look around and then sometimes you can find something that, based on the price tag and the quality of the item and how you would be able to make use of it, just feels like a total steal. And that's one of the most fun things about going to a thrift shop. But when you're actually doing the same thing in a massive warehouse of tons and tons of items, but all of them are not brand, or all of them are, brand new, that is just a different experience by itself. And So I don't know if I'm ever going to, at least for the period of time that I happen to live in, or yeah, at least for right now. I know people that work at this warehouse that completely legally are selling these items just so that they make a profit, we make a profit. It's or not a profit, but we get things so much off. It's so much less expensive to be able to buy these items. So everyone wins. And apparently the amount of scale of these items, the quantity of them, once again, for the corporations is so large that it is a win for them too. It's a win for them to sell all of their overused items to these wholesalers that can sell them at a discount and make money on them. And then for the consumer, they can get them at a huge discount and also get the best bang for their buck. And I am thankful to be on the part of the latter here, as let's see, we get our shovel out here. We have efficiency 3. Okay, that seems like that's all that we're going to be able to get from Cobb's enchanting setup over here. And once again, if you guys haven't checked out Cobb and Plato's channels, please do consider taking a look at them. They're the other buddies that we have here on the Forevercraft SMP, and they're all pretty much making very consistent content, just like I am, so that you can see all of the progress that we're getting done here in the world. And it's really cool seeing it all together. But it is a win for the big corporation. It is a win for the wholesale retailer that is, again, selling them at a discount. And it's a win for the consumer at the end of the day, of the client, of the people that's able to buy these items that are usually so much more, multiple times more expensive than how it costs at the warehouse. And the reality is, it's like, that seems too good to be true. And honestly, it stinks to say it, but as an American consumer, it is too good to be true, because Americans consume so much, and the amount of plastic and the amount... Here we are again. Oh my goodness. Oh man, guys, I'm going to have to take a deep breath. The amount of cuts that I'm going to have to make in what's just supposed to be a one-time recording right here is insane. But again, the amount of overconsumption that we actually are doing does have an impact. And if you live in the United States or in an environment that is very consumerism heavy and is not as much, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys, we have like 2 minutes left. We have 2 minutes left. That's the third time. That's the third time in 20 minutes that the fire alarm has gone off. That is insane. I was thinking about live streaming after this, and now I don't even know if it's going to be able to be possible. People are really messing around here, maybe cooking up things on this Easter night. Oh man, holy moly. What were we saying? I can't fully remember. Oh, okay, wait, I do remember now. So the amount of overconsumption has a huge environmental impact, and Americans, the American economy, or just the after the Industrial Revolution, the amount of consumer goods and, the use of being able to use transport to ship them across the world and make things quickly and efficiently, and ever more quickly and efficiently as time goes on, is something that I think, unless you're really in the thick of it, I don't think you really know how extensive it really is. I bet that people that work in factories can get an idea of it. But when we broadcast the amount of overproduction that is, prevalent throughout the world, and how that is leading to so much waste, yes, for the consumer, normal quality goods and that sort of thing, it does get cheaper and cheaper over time. But at the end of the day, for the environment, which is not sustainable, it's not like it's going to last forever, in my personal opinion, and you don't have to agree with me on that, because I know that not everyone agrees with that statement by itself. But my personal opinion is that there has to be a hidden cost, because you can't just be awesome for everybody. It is awesome for me to have been able to benefit from those deals. And, of course, here I am talking about the environmental ramification of it, but I am also consuming it. But I would have bought the same things anyway. Oh, there's a timer. But anyway, we'll keep going for a second. I would have bought those same things anyway. I just would have bought them so much more expensively. So for anyone that happens to be trying to survive as a human being, which I think is all 9 billion of us on the planet, then it makes sense for us in a consumer sort of standpoint to get it for the cheapest way possible. And then for the corporation, it's their ability to have the max amount of supply available and be able to make the most revenue out of it. But the amount of production has gotten so out of hand that nowadays it's profitable for everybody to sell these things at mass quantity and at very cheap as well, just because it benefits them in the long run like that. And that just means that the amount of buildup for the environment and for the world, in my personal opinion, is just out of this world. I really do mean that. So anyway, the sun is beginning to set. It was kind of an interesting recording session today. So I hope that you guys were able to enjoy my thoughts about just quantity and the amount of production and consumption that's happening in the United States, at least, because that is where I happen to live. If you have enjoyed this commentary and you would like to take a look at some more of my videos, we do have this playlist right here of the entire Streak playlist. When we started kind of commentating just like this, but we do have years worth of cinematics, so you can find them all on my channel. I appreciate you, and consider subscribing once again. If you are new, I will see you guys all tomorrow.